Okay. All right, Allison. So self-renewal, and how did that card make you feel?
It made me understand my situation. So that, because I am a bit of an OCD minimalist, which, hey, there's a lot of problems with that too. But just being around a lot of clutter gives me a lot of anxiety, and it's hard for me to relax in that type of environment. So I think that's been somewhat of my problem, even though I've sort of decluttered as best I can. But yeah, it doesn't help me. So I know why I got that card while I'm here.
Okay. So what was your intention or your question when we did the meditation?
Just, am I on the right path?
Okay. So I'm going to tell you right now that, of course, always the answer is yes, because
okay, maybe I should phrase that different. Am I going in the right direction? Because I know we're all on the path, but sometimes I turn right when I should have gone left. And well, I've done that a lot actually. So I just, am I starting to move in the right direction? I think is what what I was thinking.
What about the word alignment, Allison? Like, are you in alignment with your purpose, or you're not wrong, right? None of the turns are wrong. You're just
right.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that, because I never feel aligned. So maybe, yes, that's a great question. That's what I want to know.
And I also think it can be, what direction shall I move to? Or what direction shall I move in? Right? Because again, everything that's happened has meant to happen, whether we like it or not. Right?
Yeah.
And so it can be from this moment exactly, what direction should I go? So
right, to keep me in, to get me in alignment even.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, the goddess pose. Love this.
Oh wow.
Yes. Goddess is about strength. Goddess is about the divine feminine. So if you want to be aligned, right, we need to focus on those energies of the divine feminine. So those are the energies, that we talk about. When we had talked about the things that you do that help you feel aligned, you had shared some of those earlier. We had talked about what am I doing when I feel that real alignment? What are some of those things for you?
Well, just when I feel, just like when I'm feeling really like being at the beach with my feet in the sand and looking at the reflection on the water, and looking at the sky at night. I love the stars, and I love being here in Oregon, because it's very much like home. They have the specific seasons. You have those smells right now. The leaves are falling off the tree. Those things seem magical to me. Feet on spongy ground when you're walking in the woods. I love that. So that kind of thing makes me feel aligned.
So how often are you doing those things?
Well, I'm trying to do them here every day.
Good.
If it's
awesome.
Not pouring rain, but
yes. Yeah. So I feel like a lot of it is that just sinking into that feminine energy of compassion, nurturing, and your intuition. I mean, that is divine feminine. What is your intuition telling you to do?
Right. And I have been listening, and I know I have good intuition that I haven't listened to. So I know, and it's developing much more now that I am practicing meditating every day and I've been doing some walking meditations while I've been here. So it's been really nice. But yeah, I think you're right, because being in the position that I'm in at work, I have to be in male energy so much, or it's like, fight or die is what it is in the hospitality technology sales world, because it is a lot of brown men that own hotels that don't have a lot of respect for women. So you really do have to be having your balls swinging, and they better be made of steel, because they're going to back you into a corner, and you're either going to come out fighting or you're not going to win. So I think that's what I need to do more, is transition at the end of the day out of that male energy and into some female energy, because you're right. I spend way too much time in male energy. It's awful.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's a definite sign. Also, you know, let's say that you're talking with some of these very male, you know, masculine energy dominated men. And what if you, and of course you can't do this all the time, but the situation, can you bring up, like, say, a compliment? Can you start your conversations with a compliment to them? Can you start it on a positive kind of side?
Yeah. And you know, you have to do that, because sales is about building relationships more than anything. So, you know, and especially with brown men, they better like you or you're not getting anywhere with them. So I know that with them, family is really important. So I'm like, make sure, you know, hey, Bobby Patel, how is your wife doing? And their wife is very important to them, but they are very much lesser people. You know what I mean? In the grand scheme of things. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I think just focusing on that part of it also, when you are feeling that heaviness of the masculine energy, it's just that whole, okay, how could I have a little bit of feminine energy here? How could I make a connection? How could I show this person a little bit of compassion? Because when we reach out, it will be reciprocated. Maybe not at that moment, right? But as soon as we shift into that compassion, we've released the masculine energy. So it's just, you know, asking those questions, giving a positive comment or compliment. You know, thank you for whatever, you know what I mean, giving gratitude, it might be. And then it's also really continuing to surround yourself with like-minded women. So this group here, because if you want to keep your feminine energy up to be a goddess, we have to be able to do it together. We cannot do it on our own, because it is the male energy everywhere, right?
Right.
So, so the goddess energy is using the, like Nikki had said, the being power. Masculine energy is the doing. So you're going to use the being as your power. So sitting with something, right? Thinking about it, feeling it. And really considering then what that next step will be. And I just wanted to bring up, does that, you moving, is that still coming up as part of your direction?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
And so where are you on that?
I'm thinking about it, and I've got the closets all cleaned out. So yeah, it's just about getting some work done that needs to be done before my house goes for sale. And really, where do I go once I sell it? That's what my biggest challenge is, because I don't want to move to Oklahoma, but I will, you know, for a couple of years while Gina's there. And then so I just need to get my butt in gear and get a realtor over to my house to tell me what I need to do to put the house up for sale. But it needs to happen. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yep. So that, so being in the feminine energy is setting an intention, right? It's not being, I have to do this. It's just setting the intention that, you know, what would it take to sell this house? What would it take for me to ask the realtor to come? And so you're in Oregon for how long?
Till the 30th.
Until the 30th. Okay. So, you know, this might be setting it out there, but maybe by the end of November, then you will have had the real estate agent come over and just tell you what needs to be done at least.
Yeah. And then I can get it sold, put it up for sale in the spring, because I know they sell better over the summer and spring and summer.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Does that feel? Thank you. Feels good. Thank you.
All right. Okay, who's next?
Suzanne, because I was just about to do a card reading for her if you weren't going to come back.
Oh, okay. Okay, Suzanne, what was your intention or question?
Ambition to create. That's what comes to my head.
Wow, nice.
Because lately I've been saving quotes and stuff, and I've been looking at stuff that I was like, oh, that'd be fun to do. That'd be fun to do. But I don't do it. So.
Okay. Oh my gosh, some of my favorite cards. So this is called Shoulder Stand, but it's about being queen and empowered. So it is connecting to that energy of what those fun things bring you, those creative things, the ambition to create. So what do those things make you feel when you're doing them?
I don't know, I haven't done them yet.
Well, give me some ideas. What are some things that you want to do?
I want to paint my basement. Yeah. I want to print all these quotes on those little tiles and put them up at work. I want to, I don't know, do some kind of I want to put my album together for when my husband and I went to Canmore. And those are 3 things they're on the list. Do this, this, and this.
So what is keeping you from them?
I'm lazy. I don't know. It's not like I don't got time. When I get home from work, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit and have supper and drink coffee and watch TV.
That's okay. That's yeah, that's okay. So this is, these are projects then that you don't, you need to do to fill you up. So this might be a weekend project. This might be, right? I feel like if we're going to empower ourselves, it is to give ourselves permission to do things we love when we want to do them, not to add it on the list. Okay, not to say, because I'm lazy, I'm not doing these things that I want to create. Because then it's just like we add it, then it's more of a to-do thing. Right?
Yeah, because I'd like to do them instead of watching TV. I'd like to be more creative instead of sitting and watching TV, because I just think I'd feel better if I was doing something like that.
Okay. So which one of those things excites you? Do they?
All of them, actually.
Okay.
Well, because I spent the time, I've got the pictures all set out for the album. I've got all the quotes ready to go. I have the paint for the basement. It's all ready.
So to make that decision then will empower you. So you just need to decide right now, which one do you want to do the most first?
Maybe I would say my album, because that's what comes to my head first.
And that's what comes to me, is that album.
Yeah.
So I would say to you would be, do you think by next Tuesday, could you tell us that you've started it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could tell you anything I want. Really?
Wasn't very convincing.
Maybe proving it to you might be a better way.
Oh my gosh, you're so funny. Oh, so
I think I just need to, I think I want to do it to get away from everybody else's shit. And I think doing something fun like that for me would make me feel better. That's in the back of my head. I think that's why I want to do these things.
Yeah.
So it's just to take that step to go, you know what, I'm going to set this up and do it.
And this card is also about just leading with your heart. And that sometimes takes confidence to be able to do that. So just, if you're called to do it, then just try it. You don't have to do the whole album in one night.
No.
Right? And also considering that maybe you do it, like maybe it's a night where you know you don't really have to cook, maybe you have leftovers, maybe your husband's cooking, and you can just do, no, does that not happen?
Yeah, that's never gonna happen. That night's never coming.
Okay. Okay, well.
But I think what I'll do is I'm gonna say that I'm gonna go to my dad's tonight. I'm gonna get the table and I'm gonna set it up and get my album laid out tonight.
Perfect.
About that.
Perfect.
Good job.
Yeah.
And see how it feels. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna connect to the feeling of it.
And I put it on my hand, go to dad's.
Okay. Perfect.
So I don't forget.
Awesome.
Yeah. So what does the queen, what does this card, what does the position look like?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's literally, it's like legs up the wall, but even higher.
Yeah, it's like a backwards plank.
It is. Yeah.
Can't do that one either.
You could do legs up the wall.
Yeah, I wrote that down to try that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Kim.
You're welcome. Okay. And of course, I totally understand we're a little after 1 o'clock with all my on and offs. If you have to go, you know, totally understand if you do. Okay. Dodie, what was your intention?
So the words kind of aren't coming to me, but in that activity of light that we did, it was like it's like in my stomach. It's like on the right side of my body. It was like it's like my stomach's like in a knot, and it was like I was having trouble letting the light get to that part of my body. And so the word that came to my mind was kind of like worry. And then I thought about that, like it's funny because I feel like I'm at the point, you know, myself, I'm you know, working on alignment and making myself a priority. And now I feel like I'm at the time where I'm so open. Like I'm really feeling I have a sister really struggling. Like, you know, in the world, there's so much struggling right now. Like I can just think of like my sister and my son is doing something, and it's almost like, I don't know, I feel like I'm almost so, now that I'm more aware and intuitive, it's almost like, I'm taking on some of their things. And I guess worry, it's becoming my worry instead of me. Like I'm really wanting to, I've mentioned this before, like I'm kind of wanting to clear out some of my past because I'm excited about my future. And the example I brought up was like I have a whole office full of teaching materials from 30 years ago. And so it's kind of like I'm wanting to keep going forward with my, you know, to clear the path of my past to make just more room for future. And then I feel like instead of like tackling some of those things, I'm taking on the worries of my closest loved ones right now.
Okay, so your card is concentration. Focus and unwind. Okay. So
that makes sense.
So having, you know, your meditation time, your breathing time to help you unwind, or doing things that help you to unwind, because I think the thought of even still going through the stuff is overwhelming for you. But if you feel that that will help you to unwind, you know, then it can be the next step. But it is to focus on one thing. So try not to connect. So, you know, you're talking about the clutter, and then you're talking about your feelings for others and how you're taking everything in. Just focus on those as two separate things. We're not going to say that I blame one thing. If I would because you can say, if I clean out the clutter, then I'll have more room for the feelings for others, but you really don't need that, like, meaning that I think those feelings are overpowering you also, right? So they're almost two really separate things. And so the focus is right now, my focus is, and you can even say it, at this moment, I am going to really think about my sister for 5 minutes. I'm allowing myself to think about her. What could I do to help her? And then when that, you set a timer, when that 5 minutes is up, you have to move on with your day, do the next thing, right? If it's your son, then you're going to focus that time specifically to him, where you meditate, where you're going to sit. Maybe you're just going to journal. Maybe you're just going to cry. Like sometimes we just need, right? We can feel those emotions so intensely, and that's okay. We need to feel them, but then it's the focus of what is my next step going to be in this position. Then when you think about your clutter, your boxes, then you focus only on that. We're not bringing in everyone else's emotions. We're just like, okay, am I going to deal with these boxes today? No, I am not. Okay, we're going to let it go. And we will bring that up again another time. So I think really bringing that focus to one thing at a time will help you to move forward throughout that. Does that resonate?
I love that, because right now everything's just mixed, like a big mixing, like stew pot, and I'm stewing on it all.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that idea of like one, like putting it into almost a compartment, one at a time, and not letting them mix. I'm such a visual person that really helps.
Okay, good. Awesome. Good.
Because honestly, all of that together, that is equals the word overwhelm.
Yeah, totally. It does. Yeah, totally.
Can you show me my card once more?
Oh, I already tossed it. It's just sitting cross-legged.
Oh yes, I remember now. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Mom, what was your intention?
Okay, well, of course, I'm lots older than all of you, and I know I've got lots of things to be grateful for, but I do have to deal with anxiety about the future as to whether it is like physical or financial. Yeah, I would say that's kind of my question, my thought.
So just your worry about that specifically?
Specific, yes, I would say so.
Oh, it's pretty, honey. I love all the colors.
Okay, so 2 popped up, so I'm going to share them because so one is seated staff. It says just a seated, and it's about individuality and character. And then the other one is triangle, which is about mystery and magic.
Oh, yeah.
I love mystery and magic. So
do you want to just sit with me for a minute?
I really think that it's really trying to, you know, again, character is like your values, right? And you've done the values exercise from, have you done that before?
Yes.
Yes. And
yes.
So it's going back to those values, and am I living them when I worry about the future, right? Mm-hmm. How can I live within those values looking to tomorrow? Right? So if your value is, I can't even remember. Do you remember what your top values were?
No, I don't.
So that might be a revisit to that. I'm just looking it up here for a minute. Being really grounded. So how is your breathing, your 1 minute of breathing going every day?
Pretty good. Most days I remember.
Okay. Yeah. So I would say that you probably, if you're feeling more of the anxiety, you probably need to do it twice a day.
Okay.
The higher the anxiety, the more we need that being time to allow us to shift out of that feeling, right? We need, the way it happens is by being quiet. The quieter we are and the more quiet we are, the less anxiety we have, because we're teaching ourselves to be in the moment, not in the future, right? Anxiety is always worrying about things in the future. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just making sure that you are making your decisions based on your values. And that's from both cards. And so, you know, am I choosing to worry about, you know, finances or my health? And is this connected to my values? And again, it's always coming back to, what do I have control over at this moment? So it's just today at this moment, what do I have control over my money and over my health? Because that's the only thing you can connect to at this moment. And, you know, we don't have control over what's going to happen 2 months from now, because we don't have a clue what it is going to be, right? So it's being that groundedness, really standing out on when you go for your walks, just stand for a few minutes still, feet on the ground, just grounding to the earth and just being in that moment, because when you are, then we are allowing that anxiety to go.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, my friends, sorry about the internet issues today. It has been a privilege. So if anyone has any questions, comments, whatever, go ahead. If not, I will see you next week.
Yeah, no, that was great. I feel 100% better. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kim. That was nice.
You girls are great. I really appreciate you all.
Yeah.
Me too. I am grateful for all of you.
Yes.
I will see you guys all next Tuesday.
Hey,
All right.
sounds
Take
good.
care.
Sounds good.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have you got a minute, Kim? I just had a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just,
Okay, just
it's
a
more
second. Just